You've made it to cycle 3. Let's finish up this chapter starting with the word grim. Grim, out in the kitchen one night after supper, whispering to Graham, had she noticed how much Maxwell was getting to look like him, which is the way he always talked about my father, who has married his dear departed daughter and produced Eek Maxwell. Grim never says my father's name, just him, like his name is too scary to say. It's more than just the way Maxwell resembles him. Grim says that night in the kitchen, the boy is like him. We'd better watch out. You never know what he might do while we're sleeping, like his father did. And Graham right away shushes him and says, "Don't ever say that, because little pictures have big ears." Which makes me run to the mirror to see if it is my ears made me look like him. What a butthead, huh? Alright, we're gonna pause right there and answer the first few questions. Our first question wants us to think back to this first paragraph that we just read. The phrase dear departed refers to someone who has passed away. In this excerpt, whom do we learn has passed away, and who does Max live with, and why? So scholars, think about who Grim and Grim are. How are they related to Maxwell? When you're done with that question, we're going to go on pause if you need more time. What's surprising about the way Max reveals this information? And what do you notice about his tone? I want you to look back. What tone is Max using for that paragraph? Pause and answer that question. We can also answer these next few questions. We're reading this excerpt. It says, and Graham right away shushes him and says, "Don't ever say that, because little pictures have big ears," which makes me run to the mirror to see if it is my big ears that make me look like him. What does Max mean by him? Who is him? And why might his name be capitalized and in italics in your text? Why do you think our author writes it like that? Our next question says the phrase little pictures or the phrase little pitchers have big ears is a saying that means adults should be careful what they say within the hearing of children. What is Graham probably trying to communicate to Graham, and why might she be trying to say that? So knowing what he was actually trying to say, what do you think she was trying to communicate to Grim? Pause the video, answer that question. What did Max think she was saying? And how do you know? Look back at the book, it tells you exactly what he thinks she said. And our next question, what does this moment, the whole pictures, going to the mirror moment, show us about Max's reliability as a narrator? And when you're answering this, I want you to think about, did he tell us what the phrase actually was in the book, or did we have to learn that in our lesson? Pause the video if you need more time. We are going to hop right back into our book. Starting with, what a butthead. What a butthead, huh? Well, I was a butthead, because like I said, I never had a brain until Freak moved down the street. The summer before 8th grade, right? That's the summer I grew so fast that Grim said we'd best let the boy go barefoot. He's exploding out of his shoes. That barefoot summer when I fell down a lot, and the weirdo robot boy with his white yellow hair and his weird face, his weird fierce eyes moved into the duplex down the block with his beautiful brown-haired mom, the fair Guinevere. Only a falling down goon would think that was her real name, right? Like I said. Are you paying attention here? Because you don't even know yet how we got to be Freak the Mighty, which was pretty cool, even if I do say so myself. All right, scholars, let's finish up these questions. That was quite the way to end that chapter. Rereading the final line of this chapter from page 5, all of his questions right at the end there. Who is Max speaking to right there? And why might our author have chosen to end this chapter in this very odd way? Write that there. When you're done, move on to your exit ticket.